morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be back for the second year in a row and share with you an update on our consumer research. As for those of you, as a reminder, the TV Observatory, it's a research tool with consumers that we carry in over 50 countries, in North Africa, in the MENA region, of course, but also in Western and Eastern Europe. And we do that for different reasons. First of all, to assess the way TV signals are received in the home of consumers, and then to understand also the role that is played by satellite technology. We do that to inform ourselves and our management to understand, how to move strategically and how to provide new capacities, but also to help our clients in their strategic options to reach, the maximum reach in their distribution strategies. This year, we updated 4 countries, and the survey relies on 4,000 face-to-face interviews that took place in the summer between June and July 2017. We worked with Ipsos MENA, and there's Atanas Hamo in the room today as well if you have more questions specifically on the methodology. We surveyed 4 countries. We surveyed Morocco, Algeria, Egypt, and Saudi Arabia. Together, these 4 markets alone, they represent 70% of the TV homes in the region. So we thought that, to get a pretty good sense of the changes and on the transition. And we aggregated data from last year's surveys from the 2016 edition for the rest. So the whole area is comprised of 14 Arab-speaking markets. So let's look at the first insight. First of all, this is a region which is really still enjoying great demographic growth. The number of homes alone went from 64.3 million to 66.2. That's a 4% growth, which has been obviously measured in the 4 major countries. We detect an increase of 1% in terms of TV ownership at 95% of the homes, which makes also the TV homes growing by 4% from 60.8 million 1 year ago to 62.6 million in 1 year only. So there's 1.8 million TV homes more in this perimeter. And let's look at the TV reception mode, which is a little bit the objective of this study. So this year, just like last year, no surprise, it's still satellite TV that remains the main and favored digital infrastructure to access TV channels by the consumers, reaching into 94% of TV homes, and rising to 58.9 million TV homes, up from 56.3 last year. That's 94% of homes in general, and it's a 7% growth. The remaining, we're seeing IPTV relatively stable. It's a little bit offset also by the demographic growth in the Maghreb countries. IPTV, we see it being a strong and relevant TV reception mode in UAE, certainly, and then a little bit in Saudi Arabia. There's very small install base also in Egypt and Morocco, but insignificant compared to the satellite reach. And then we're also seeing the exclusive DTT or analog terrestrial TV homes reducing. They're down to 0.6 million homes for DTT and then 1.9 million homes for analog terrestrials, being also conquered by satellite. So let's look a little bit at the leading neighborhood in the region. It's the 7 and 8 West neighborhood. This is comprised by 3 co-located satellites between 7 and 8 West degrees. They're all equally received by consumers. It's co-located between Nilesat and Eutelsat, and those are the 3 birds that are actually available in the region. There's the Nilesat 201, Eutelsat 7 West A, and Eutelsat 8 West B. So this year, again, we see a tremendous growth in terms of the reach, the technical reach. 7 and 8 West maintain its leadership, and it keeps on growing. It's now available in 56.2 million homes in the region. That's a 6% growth, and 3.1 million homes more. So again, maintaining its leadership and still being the #1 position preferred by consumers. And when we look at the breakdown in all the different countries, country by country, we detect also 95% on average, but as you can see in some countries is even 100% of the satellite homes are receiving this position. And the success is, of course, linked to content and to the exceptional lineup, which is displayed. At Q2 2017, this position counts 1,208 channels, of which 55% are actually exclusive compared to the other positions available in the region. So that's over 600 channels that are exclusive at this region. The majority are in free-to-air, but we also carry beIN Sports and OSN, so 159 of these channels are paid. Let's now look at how the rise of HDTV, we titled this presentation, The Rise of HDTV. Let's see how equipment and content is becoming more and more available in the region. So first of all, in terms of equipment, we're seeing a very strong growth 1 year to the next in terms of the TV homes that are equipped to enjoy HDTV with at least one TV screen. It was 17.7 million homes last year, 30% of the TV homes in the 14 countries. And then it's actually 46% this year, so a rise to 28.2 million homes. That's a very strong growth. And it's even conservative because, as a reminder, this is, the growth is calculated on the 4 countries surveyed, so we're still missing the other countries, the 30% of the region. So we're definitely seeing tremendous growth in terms of equipment. The consumers are getting more and more used to this type of quality, and they're getting equipped and ready for a better video experience. And this experience is met by content which is increasingly more available. Specifically on the 7 and 8 West position, the number of HDTV channels grew in 1 year from 133 to 179. It's a 34% growth. It's ongoing and it's steady. Half of them are SD channels that were already on the fleet that upgraded, and half of them they're actually new channels that are getting on board directly in HD. And if we look at the percentage of TV homes that are receiving 7 and 8 West, the incidence of those that are HDTV equipped, it's even higher than on the national basis. It's 66%, or 20.6 million homes. That's a growth of almost 90%. There were like 10 million last year. So there's real momentum in that sense. The region is also known for our other position, HOTBIRD, which is the prime core position for Eutelsat, covering Europe, of course, but also the MENA region. And it's the first choice for Arabic channels in Europe. I wanted to just as a reminder, HOTBIRD reaches into 135 million homes globally, whether directly DTH or indirectly. And I just wanted to focus quickly on the HD part. So the evolution of HD channels also has been extremely steady and dramatic in the last 10 years. And specifically, if we look at the last snapshot and the growth between a year ago and this year, we also saw the number of HDTV channels going from 225 to 275. It's a 22% growth. Also, 65% of the MENA region homes that are pointing to HOTBIRD, that's about 20 million actually, they're HDTV equipped. And this is just to give you some example. We have almost 80 Arabic channels that are displayed on HOTBIRD. They're really reaching into the diasporas, onto the continent. The HDTV equipment of homes in Europe, it's even higher. It was close to 80% when we last measured in 2014. We estimated it to be close to 95% now. We're going to be updating it next year. And as you can see, there's a lot of, great, amazing channels from the region that are being made available to the Arab-speaking households on the continent. And we also are proud to carry 8 HD free-to-air channels from the region as well. But the broadcasting is not just addressing consumers in the home. It's increasingly available everywhere, and we have been at Eutelsat also taking a particular interest into the hospitality area. We did some original research this summer, also with Ipsos MENA. We talked to 147 five-star hotels in Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia, and the UAE. We selected countries where they're there's high traffic for both business and also tourism. And we wanted to understand, the objective was really to understand how do the luxury hotel segment access TV channels, and also what are the criteria for them to choose them. So a lot of interesting insights coming out of it. First of all, the average number of TV channels that are offered to guests for 5-star hotels is 132. I'm staying in a 4-star hotel, and last night I was looking through, and actually I could see that about 73 were offered, and 30% were HD channels. And 75% of the hotels that we talked to, they access these channels via satellite, not surprisingly. So then we asked, what are the satellites of choice? What are the satellites that are being used? And 93% actually select Eutelsat, Nilesat, and 7 and 8 West because of the large, comprehensive availability of free-to-air channels and news channels, particularly coming from the region, national broadcasters and news channels coming from the region. The second most received and accessed is actually HOTBIRD. HOTBIRD has over 400 free-to-air channels, a lot of more international. So it provides all of the international and out of the region non-Arabic content for viewers. In terms of the equipment in the rooms, we wanted to understand to what percentage hotels were already upgrading their rooms for HDTV, to accommodate HDTV. So 73% of the 5-star hotels that we talked to, they have already up to 100% of their rooms equipped with HDTV screens. And the remaining, they're actually planning on rapidly upgrading. So we can claim the hospitality, the luxury hospitality, is rapidly becoming an all HD environment. And surprisingly also, 38% in the region, they are already having 4K screens available in at least one of their suites. So this is something that is being also, 4K is being considered like a premium experience, and they're already looking into equipping themselves. When we asked the percentage of HD channels that are provided to the viewers and to their guests, so this slide is a little bit confusing, but the way you read it is that 44% of the hotels that we talked to, basically, they have 50% or more of their channels already in HD. So HD is really perceived as a differentiator and an experience that can really add to the quality of the consumer experience. And then when we asked what type of HD channels that are available, there's a mix. It really varies by country. But international satellite channels, foreign national channels, and what we see is this high concentration of sports and news, particularly news channels. So there's a real momentum of opportunity for news channels. We do live in extremely newsworthy times. There's not one day that goes by where there's a local event which is immediately globally. The Louvre inauguration in Abu Dhabi last week was extremely covered all over the world, and this is thanks to this type of digital infrastructures as well. The last piece of insight, 77% of the 5-star hotels that we talked to, they consider reducing the number of SD channels in order to provide more HD channels. So they really understand that there's a difference in the experience and the quality is not the same, and there's a willingness to upgrade. And 89%, they considered HD channels as very important in the mix of services that they provide to their guests to ensure that they enjoy their stay. Last but not least, we just wanted to take the occasion to let you know we launched about a year ago an app which is called SatTV. And this is an app for consumers, and it's to enable them and to help them navigate and choose the programming on the free-to-air channels that are available, both on HOTBIRD but also on 7 and 8 West. There's already about 100 of the channels that are available in free-to-air at 7 and 8 West that are featured in the app. And it's been downloaded already by 1 million consumers in the region. You can access it on your mobile, you can access it on your TV set if you have a smart TV, or download it from from their website, and I invite you to take a look at it, and if you are a channel, to join it and profile your channel onto it. This concludes my presentation. Thank you very much. I hope I stayed within the allotted time, and I'm available for questions either now or later on at the coffee break. There's also my colleagues from the Eutelsat office here in Dubai, Ghassan Murat and Laurent Roussel, that are available for questions.